welcome to Bible in 1 Year. My name is Amy Guthrie, and I am so incredibly excited to be joining the Church of the Front Range family. I'm going to be serving as the kids director, and I cannot wait to get to love and serve and teach the little ones about Jesus, and it's just such an honor and a blessing. Also super excited to be joining the Bible in 1 Year team. Our scripture readings for today are found in 1 Chronicles 24, Psalm 61, 62, and 64. I want us just to look at Psalm 61 today. This is a psalm that is written by David. And we know that David is in a time of desperation. He is in some kind of trouble and he has an enemy. There are a lot of Bible scholars that believe this is during the time of Absalom's rebellion. Absalom was David's beloved son, and he rebels against David. He wants to take over the throne. And it could possibly be during that time. Whether it is or not, we know that David is in trouble and that he has an enemy of some kind. And he is actually praying, he's crying out to the Lord in his desperation. And he says, "Hear my cry, O Lord, and listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth, I will call to you." Now, David says from the end of the earth. Now, we don't know if geographically David is away from the promised land, if this is one of those times where he finds himself in hiding or not. But it is certainly a metaphor for the despair that David is feeling. He is quite possibly feeling alienated from God. So he says, from the end of the earth, I will call to you. Notice he doesn't say, from the end of the earth, I'm going to sit down and have a pity party. Or from the end of the earth, I'm going to throw my hands up in the air and give up. No, David knows exactly where to go when he is going through a hard time or some kind of trouble or he has an enemy. So he goes to the Lord. And he says, when my heart is faint, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Some versions of the Bible say, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. But we know that David is feeling overwhelmed. He is at the end of his own resources, and he wants to go to the rock. We know that the rock refers to God. You need something strong, something firm, something secure. So when the waves come crashing in on David, he is protected by God, the rock. Notice he says, higher than I. David is king. There is no further place that he could go humanly. But he knows that he is out of his league. He cannot deal with what he is going through right now. He needs God. So he goes to the rock. And then in verse 3 and 4, he says, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Notice he says, for you have been. You have been my refuge. David looks to the past. He looks to other times that God has been faithful to provide, to deliver him. And then he leans into that. He pulls that out. And then he says, you have been faithful. And because you've been faithful, I'm going to trust you in my current circumstances. We can learn from that today. If you're going through something hard, you look back at those times that God has been faithful, and you know that the God that was faithful then will be the God that is faithful now, and he is trustworthy. So David ends this psalm at the very end. He says, so will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day to day. David ends by praising God, by honoring God, by giving God the glory. Even though he is going through something hard, he is overwhelmed, his heart feels faint, he gives praise and worship to the Lord. If you're going through something difficult today, I encourage you to turn that pain into praise, because God is always worthy. God is always worthy of our praise and our honor. It's great to be with you today. I can't wait to get to meet each one of you and to serve with you and to worship God together. It's going to be an awesome journey that he has us on. My friends, you guys have a great and blessed day. See you guys next time.